Welcome to Full Court Press. This is where we ask the pressing questions that are going around the NBA. And today we're going to talk about the NBA Finals, Heat versus Nuggets. And I'm here with Fatmir today.
Hello.
Let's get right into it. So, Heat Nuggets, who you got?
Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6?
Heat culture's like that, but it's not like that.
Okay.
The Nuggets the Nuggets haven't struggled yet at all against any of the teams. Some people are gonna say, "Oh, they got a weak road to the finals." I mean, not really. Anthony Edwards on the 8th seed was playing the best against them out of like everyone. Devin Booker and KD beat them. AD and LeBron beat them. I mean, they've clearly shown they've got what it takes, and they haven't struggled against any of them yet.
I would have to agree. I have the Nuggets in 5 personally. I think they closed it out in Denver rather than beating them in Miami. And a quick note, Charlie, who's not with us here today, but Charlie also has the Nuggets in 6. Charlie predicted that the Nuggets would win the championship all the way back in the All-Star break. We verified the footage last time. Both the teams that I picked did not make the finals. Heartbreaking loss for the Celtics. Yeah, this is like the first year in a long time where neither of the teams I picked did make the finals. It is. But with that being said, I agree with what Fatmir said. Anthony Edwards was arguably the hardest matchup for the Nuggets to guard, and that was basically a one-man show for the most part in Minnesota. KD and Book, they won the most games off the Nuggets. They pulled off 2 with arguably no help as well, just because DeAndre Ayton doesn't really want to be in Phoenix from what it looks like. Chris Paul got hurt, and Chris Paul is old, so it's just a waste of time having him on the court. And really, it's just Landry Shamet and Josh Okogie trying to help them out. And Jock Landale. Jock Landale, shout out to you, man. You actually played well.
Shout out Jock Landale on Twitter. That man is hilarious.
He is hilarious. On top of that, the Lakers, they were a pretty decent matchup. Those were some pretty close games that could have gone the other way, but the Nuggets hit some shots and the Lakers didn't down the stretch.
Sweep!
It was a sweep. Plus, LeBron was playing on a torn ligament on his foot. But we're not going to make any excuses out here.
Excuses.
Taking a look on the Eastern side, the Heat have a story of a lifetime with this team. They were in the play-in. They played 2 play-in games, and they were losing to the Bulls with about 2 minutes left. And if they lost that game, they wouldn't have even been in the playoffs or in this moment whatsoever. None of this would have happened. Caleb Martin wouldn't have taken over. Gabe Vincent wouldn't have stepped up when he needed to.
Duncan Robinson's career wouldn't be revived.
All these undrafted players that the Heat have been able to create into great bench players or even starters for that matter. Man, this is a story. Eric Spoelstra as the coach, Pat Riley behind the scenes, and Jimmy Butler leading it all. I love it.
Heat culture is real. It is real, and I need it injected in my veins.
Definitely need to inject in our veins. Look out for us going to South Beach possibly for this finals. We might be making an appearance. Or on the Heat, I wouldn't really count them out. Although I have the Nuggets winning in 5 and you and Charlie have the Nuggets winning in 6, there is a chance that the Heat do pull this off just because if they keep playing the way they did in the Eastern Conference Finals, they're looking like they can play with anybody. It's just a matter of their role players beating the Nuggets role players. If one of the teams goes cold with their role players, then I think that will be a deciding factor in this series.
I think what the Heat actually need to win is they need Jimmy to go back to what he was doing in round 1. I don't think it's more so about the role players because even with the role players stepping up, and they need both Jimmy and the role players to do what they've been doing because the role players alone stepping up and Jimmy giving you maybe 20 a night isn't going to be enough to beat the Nuggets just lighting it up from 3.
I mean, my thought process behind the whole key factor being the role players was that Jimmy, the stars were going to do what the stars do. They're going to get their numbers. I'm thinking Jimmy 30 minimum. That's what he's going to need to have.
He might need 35.
He might need more, of course, to win those games. But I'm just saying Jimmy's going to be Jimmy. He's going to get his. He's going to do his thing like he always does. It's just if MPJ, KCP, Christian Braun, Bruce Brown, if they're not doing their thing, and you got Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent outscoring them. Collectively as a team, I think that they can beat the Nuggets. Jokic is going to have his. Maybe Bam actually comes out and like stops him. Who knows?
No.
Maybe not with passing, but if he can hold him offensively.
No, not at all.
I know that it's not a thing like that people expect to happen, but Bam's guarded Giannis, a more physical big. It's just that Jokic has much better shooting ability and offensive awareness.
Jokic has finesse and skill, and
Yeah.
AD couldn't stop that. Bam's not stopping that.
Yeah. I know that it's not likely that he stops it, but there is a chance. I think Jokic had one bad game against the Lakers where he maybe scored 15 or less,
Yeah.
but that was about it. If they can hold Jokic to, this might sound like a lot, but 25 and under, that was like his season average, 25 and under. That would be a W for them. It's just the fact that Jamal Murray elevates his play in the playoffs. I wonder if playoff Jamal Murray is ready for the big stage of the finals, if he's going to turn up or if he's going to go into a shell.
He's going to turn up 100%. Jamal Murray, I've never seen anyone hoop like this before. He sees the lights, and he's too bright for them.
Okay, I like the way you put that. Gabe Vincent, though. Gabe Vincent on Jamal Murray.
Shout out Gabe Vincent.
Shout out Gabe Vincent as always. We are big Gabe Vincent fans.
He's been doing great over screens on defense. He's been lighting it up from three. He's been stepping it up huge as their point guard, especially letting Kyle Lowry come off the bench and run the offense a little bit on the bench.
With Gabe Vincent, though, you have to watch out for him shot chucking. If it gets bad, then it's an issue. But if he's making them, I have no problem with him shooting the ball whatsoever.
Yeah. Tyler Hero's also projected to come back for Game 3. Should be interesting how that rolls out. I wouldn't expect too much from him, though.
I wouldn't expect much from him either, to be honest. That's another question that a lot of people have been wondering. Is Tyler Hero not playing better for the Heat? Honestly, in my opinion, I think getting through the Eastern Conference, it was better that he didn't play. I think in the finals, though, he will have to play. They're going to need another big-time scorer. And I think Tyler Hero coming back Game 3, if the Heat can even it 1-1 and he comes back Game 3, I think they might be set to push it even farther. But if they're down 2-0 and Tyler Hero comes back and he's not meshing well and he's just having a bad game, it might just be over with for the Heat after that. What do you think?
I think what they should do is probably just, like, for the most part, run what they've been doing and then, like, give him probably, like, limited minutes, maybe, like, 15 Game 1, see how he does, and then just adjust it based on how he's doing. Because, like, if it's been working for 3 series now against 2 of the best teams in the league and another very solid team, why ruin it now?
That brings us to the last question of the day, and it's one that I'm torn about. Who would you rather want to see a ring? I know we all pick the Nuggets to win, but in terms of who we would like to see get a ring and add it to their legacy, Jimmy Butler or Jokic? I'm wearing a Jimmy shirt right now, and I love Jimmy Butler just because he played for the Bulls. The way he plays, he's a hard worker. He loves the game of basketball, and he's always going to try whatever it takes to win a game and give it his all. So I'm torn between the two.
I'm not. Give it to Jimmy. I want Jokic and that team definitely have plenty of chances to win a ring.
Okay.
Jimmy's 33, I think. He's like 30-something. That Heat team is not going to last too long unless they just up their team. Trip to South Beach and Chicago ties. Give it to Jimmy.
Okay, Famir's going Jimmy. The only reason I'm torn is because I love the way that Jokic plays basketball and because he's like a majestic unicorn flopping walrus on sand. The WAP tweet is out there somewhere. I'll put in the video. Just watching him play. One, it's hilarious, the fact that he just makes those shots. And two, he plays the game right. He passes the ball. The Nuggets are basically Spurs basketball. That's what I take away from it. That 2012 to 2014 Spurs, just moving the ball around and then having one guy that could take over if you need it. I love the Joker. I was big on him before he became MVP, and I'm glad to see it flourish now and come to fruition. But you do make a good point. The Nuggets are definitely going to have more opportunities. I think just now, after this season, a lot of teams are going to game plan to try and beat the Nuggets. That's how they're going to center their teams, try to build their teams around that thought. But you are right. The Heat, they might get Dame. They might trade for Dame. in the off season. That's my hope.
I
If
need
they don't win this year, maybe they go for Dame and try and get that chip. But yeah, Jimmy is running out of time. I'd love to see either one of these guys win the finals. I don't lose in this situation.
I
Do
don't
you
lose. I don't lose.
We don't lose in
I
this
don't
situation.
lose in these shoes. Word to Skip Bayless.
Bro. Anyways, that'll wrap things up for us today. All three of us have picked the Nuggets to win it. 6 for Fatmir, 6 for Charlie, and 5 for me. And we'll see you guys next time.
Shout out Aaron Gordon.
Shout out Aaron Gordon. All right, guys. Peace.